haven't been out of the house in over 3 years.
You're not a magician and you are not God.
One of my biggest regrets, that I let my weight get so out of hand.
You're not finna disrespect me. I've been nothing but nice to your ass. Let's go.
Every morning, Joyce wakes up, probably wondering why the universe is playing this cruel joke on her. She's bedridden, gasping for air like a fish out of water, and entirely dependent on her caregiver. Now that's a wake-up call no one wants to answer. Hello everyone! Before we start today's wild ride of the grossest moments on my 600-pound life that will shock you, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell so you never miss out on these jaw-dropping stories. Ready? Let's get to it.
So I question why God even wakes me up. Just to go through another day like this. I'm just a prisoner here doing nothing because of how big I've gotten. And my weight makes it so hard for me to breathe. I have to use oxygen a lot of times just to get the air my body needs.
Joyce's life is a battle on multiple fronts. Her size is just one enemy, the other is a monstrous lymphedema on her lower body. This grotesque growth is like a ball and chain, keeping her imprisoned in her room. Mobility? That's a distant dream. She's confined to her bed and a portable potty chair, the very symbol of her limited existence. And let's not forget the sheer humiliation of having someone else clean you up. Dawn, her caregiver, deserves a medal for dealing with this mess day in and day out.
Morning.
Morning. You ready to get up?
I am. Dawn lives with me and takes care of me. And without her, things would be even worse. Because I can't even get out of bed on my own. That's how bad off my body is now. And then once I'm up, I'm barely even able to go a few feet at one time.
Now, Joyce's personal care routine is something straight out of a horror movie. Bathing isn't a luxury, it's a Herculean task. Dawn starts by washing under Joyce's stomach right on the bed. Yes, you heard that right. Then, a hairdryer comes into play to avoid moisture buildup, followed by zinc oxide cream to fend off infections. Once the front is done, Joyce shuffles to her potty chair for the backwash and finally moves to the recliner for the upper body. It's like an Olympic event, except there are no medals, just exhaustion and a fleeting sense of cleanliness.
We wash the lower part of my stomach and underneath it in my bed. But once she's done, she has to use a hairdryer to dry those areas. Because if any moisture gets caught under a fold, it'll get trapped there and mold causes sores that will get infected. But Dawn also has to rub a zinc oxide cream on me to help prevent sores. Because without it, the natural chafing I have under my folds can start to break the skin over time.
If you think hygiene is the end of it, think again. Next up is the gastronomical nightmare. Joyce's meals could feed a small army. After her grueling bath, she dives into food like it's her last meal. But who can blame her? Food is her escape, her slice of heaven in a hellish existence. Every bite is a moment of relief from her crushing reality. How did she get here? Well, food has been her twisted companion since childhood.
That first bite is the best moment of my day. When I'm eating, I think nothing. That's what the best part of it is when I'm sitting there eating, I have no worries about anything. I'm just thinking about how good the food is. And that's my life. I'll sit there in my recliner for the rest of the day, and Dawn will bring me food and I'll eat it until it's time to go back to bed. I basically just live to eat now, and I never leave this room.
Joyce's love affair with food started young. Her parents split when she was 3, and her mother decided to play house with a new partner, sending Joyce off to grandma's. Abandoned and emotionally wrecked, Joyce found solace in eating. Grandma, perhaps out of guilt or sheer love, indulged her every whim. By the time she was 8, Joyce was tipping the scales at 100 pounds. Fast forward through more family drama and upheavals, and food remained the one constant, the one thing she could control. Or so she thought.
But things changed when I was 7, because that's when my mom started dating someone who would become my stepdad. He had 3 sons and a daughter, but when they decided to get married, my mom moved in with them, but sent me to live with my grandma. I felt abandoned by my mom, like she didn't want me anymore. So I was upset and really hurt by that, but I did love being with my grandmother because she gave me constant attention and was always feeding me and making sure I had what I needed. And I think that's when my love for food probably started. But she fed me so much that I put on around 40 to 50 pounds while I was with her.
Desperate to claw back some balance in life, Joyce turned to DR. Now, the weight loss wizard of the show. At a staggering 758 pounds, she needed a miracle. Dr. Now admitted her to the hospital, slapped her on a strict 1,200-calorie diet, and threw in some physical therapy for good measure. The goal? Lose 150 pounds to qualify for surgery. Simple, right? Well, not quite.
Let me check your stomach while you're here. So this is, do you have any stomach pain or discomfort? No. Can you raise your head up for me? Like I mentioned, you may have some hernia in here. And you do have a hernia in belly button. And so we'll have to fix that at some point.
He laid it all out. Lose weight or lose your life. No pressure, Joyce. Her first progress report wasn't exactly a gold star moment. She dropped about 60 pounds, which, in Dr. Now's world, was underwhelming. He didn't hide his disappointment. Joyce, battling her demons, promised to try harder. The second visit wasn't any better. Her weight loss had stalled, and Dr. Now's patience was wearing thin. He drilled into her the urgency, but the results didn't follow.
We help you lose a lot, but not that much. We'll just wait till we catch your breath, and then I will re-zero it, and we can get the correct weight.
I'd prefer to skip it. On the way back, I almost wasn't able to make my way back.
We'll try again later, but at least you got a little exercise today. But this poor level of activity is not good. So you realize that your functional capacity is very, very low, and you're in a very dangerous situation.
And by the third visit, clear, Joyce wasn't hitting the mark. Dr. Now reiterated the stakes, but despite her efforts, she just couldn't shed enough weight. No surgery for Joyce. At least not yet. By the end of her episode, she had lost 134 pounds. A significant drop, sure, but not enough for the life-changing surgery. Joyce's story is a grim reminder of the relentless struggle against obesity.
There's just no way. It just doesn't make sense. But I know now the scale is definitely messed up. So I'm really upset because once again, I'm figuring Dr. Now isn't gonna believe me when I tell him that the scale has to be wrong.
Imagine starting your day with a massive, greasy breakfast, ordered before you even brush your teeth. For James Bedard, a 35-year-old New Yorker, this wasn't just a habit, it was a lifestyle. Every morning, James would begin his day with an unhealthy feast, treating food like it was the Super Bowl. Let's dive into how his story unraveled.
Can I get the original French toast? The amount of stuff that you could get is just crazy, so I get excited. It's like the Super Bowl. You can get whatever you want now, you understand? And a slice of, let me get a slice of ham. 2 of them.
Okay. Is that all?
Yes. But once I place an order, I get anxious, even though the food don't take long.
James had a serious addiction to food. It was his escape from life's challenges, especially his battle with weight. Just taking a shower was an ordeal for him. Picture this, struggling to get into the bathtub, let alone making sure every part of him was clean. But how did James end up gaining so much weight in the first place?
Bathing myself is the worst struggle of my day. Because moving around when you massage is very difficult and it could be very painful. Being obese is one of the worst conditions that you could be in your life.
From a young age, James was a foodie in the worst way. With his dad frequently away for work, his mom showered him with love through endless snacks and meals. By the age of 6, James weighed over 100 pounds. His school days were a mess of food schemes and snack sneaking. He was the kid who'd fake bathroom breaks just to raid the cafeteria for extra snacks. Sounds insane, right? But when does this cycle ever break?
That's my workout. After that's done, I'm ready for lunch. I grew up around food. It's always been a center point of my life. Coming up in the Caribbean culture, the foods that we used to eat is griot, tasso, bun peze, fritai. These are the names that we call them in Creole. You had your, it's collard greens, but they call it legume.
As he got older, James's love for food only intensified. When his brother went grocery shopping, the list read like a party planner's dream. Ice cream, soda, chips, ribs, steaks, you name it. And when that food hit the kitchen, it was game on for James. But amidst all the indulgence, did he ever think of a healthier path?
So I got cool with the lunch ladies in the cafeteria. I would sweet talk them, so they'll sneak me some food in the morning. I would lie to the teacher and tell the teacher I'm going to the bathroom, and I'll be end up in the lunchroom. Multiple times all day. And then I have a heavy meal at night, so it's just basically eating all day. So with all that constant eating, my weight got higher at a very quick pace. When I was 8, I was 300 pounds already.
Desperate for change, James reached out to Dr. Now, the man known for turning lives around on my 600 lb life. During his first visit, James tipped the scales at a whopping 625 pounds. Dr. Now didn't mince words. He laid down the law with a strict 1,200 calorie diet and a ban on sugary snacks and alcohol. The viewers were left biting their nails, wondering if James could stick to this drastic new regimen.
To start doing twice a day, okay?
Okay.
And if you follow that, you should very easily be able to lose at least 80 pounds over the next 2 months.
In 2 months?
Yeah, okay? That's gonna be easy goal to do if you stick with the 1,200 calorie diet.
All right.
Okay? That's the goal I'm gonna give you. And if you do that, we're gonna go ahead and ask you to move down Houston to get you in our program.
Moving on to James's second visit. You'd think the prospect of death would be enough to change anyone's ways, but old habits die hard. James had only managed to shed 30 pounds. Not enough for surgery approval. Dr. Now, though frustrated, didn't throw in the towel. He tweaked the diet plan and sent James off with a stern warning: no more playing around. By the episode's end, James had only lost 119 pounds.
All right, you all doing okay?
Yes, we are.
Good. Well, James, it looks like you're doing great. You lost 37 pounds. So you got some momentum going now.
Yes, sir.
So in total, you lost 119 pounds, which is a good start. But it's good that you're picking up the pace now.
Yes, sir. I'm picking up the pace and I'm starting to see a difference. And other people are too, you know? My family, everybody, my support system say I'm doing a great job. So that's been encouraging.
All right, folks, if you're enjoying the episode so far, give it a thumbs up and leave your thoughts in the comments below. Grab your popcorn and maybe a barf bag, because we're diving into the wild, gross, and absolutely jaw-dropping of Ashley Taylor. Ashley Taylor's is the roller coaster ride you never asked for but can't look away from. This saga has everything: food addiction, heartbreaking moments, and enough EW scenes to keep you watching through your fingers. Imagine a little girl with a food addiction that could rival a competitive eater. By age 7, Ashley was already tipping the scales at 200 pounds. Fast forward to 14, and she'd nearly doubled that. It's a gut-punching reality that's hard to digest, pun intended.
We would go out to fast food restaurants around town, and those are the best memories of me and my mom. And then doubled my weight to 200 by the time I was 7. So I got really big, and everyone took notice of that. And I tried my best to lose the weight, but it's just, food is like my only friend. Food is my only outlet. Like, food comforted me. And things in my life kept going wrong right after that. First, when I found out who my father was, because we had this family friend.
Life didn't throw Ashley a bone, ever. She endured brutal bullying and some seriously messed up experiences. Imagine going through a horrifying ordeal with a neighbor and then losing your grandma. It's like a tragic soap opera, but real. You'd think life would give her a break, but nope. It's almost like the universe was using her life as a punching bag.
My dad, it hurt me. And I used food to carry me through that. But it was one thing after the next went wrong at that time. Because shortly after that was when one of my neighbors hurt me. He lived in the apartment across from us. And his wife would always say, come over and get cookies. And so one day I went over to get a cookie and I didn't know she wasn't home.
Now, let's talk about her mom, The supposed pillar of strength. You know, every hero has a sidekick, but even Batman had better luck with Robin. When Ashley ended up in an epilepsy institution, feeling lonelier than a single sock in the dryer, it was like the trauma train just kept on chugging. Food became her best friend, reliable, comforting, and always there when people weren't. Honestly, who wouldn't turn to something dependable in such a mess? I mean, I turned to chocolate after a bad day at work, and that's nothing compared to Ashley's saga.
Then my mom needed long-term care. She had to go immediately to a nursing home. So that's where she's been the last 10 years. My mom never got to come home. But when I found out, okay, she's not coming home, it took a toll on me. Like, I wanted to die. So I turned to food. My mom's gone. My dad don't give a about me. Let me just eat. But over the next year, the loneliness made me deteriorate. So that's when I started my second addiction.
Ashley decided to seek help from DR, Nowzaradan, our favorite no-nonsense weight loss guru. But here's where it gets rocky. Ashley's commitment to the diet plan? Let's just say she was more into performing the motions than making real progress. It was like watching someone say they're running a marathon but taking a nap at mile 1. The disparity between her plans and actions was like night and day.
Pediatric issues or substance use problems?
Not to my knowledge, I do not, because I'm not close to my family.
And what prompted that decision?
It's just, I've done some stuff, they've done some stuff. I've done more than them, but
So you're acknowledging that you've done some things.
I've done some stuff to hurt them. I'm no angel.
So now you have me curious.
Then came the moment of truth. Drum roll, please. She lost 2 pounds. Yes, you heard that right. A whopping 2 pounds. That's like emptying your pockets and thinking you've lost weight. It wasn't enough for the coveted gastric bypass surgery. What followed was an intense showdown with Dr. Now. Ashley, frustrated and defeated, going toe-to-toe with the doc. The tension was thicker than her favorite milkshake.
How do you think weight loss surgery is going to help you?
It helped me in so many ways. It helped me to get more healthier. It helped me with, losing the weight. It was just...
Okay, with helping losing weight, how is it going to help you lose weight? That's what the question is. How? The question is how. How is it going to help you? You want me to give you the answer?
Y'all ready to go?
Get,
I'm done.
I'm
done.
Okay, look at me. It's going to help you by making you eat less.
Now, if you thought the drama ended there, you're sorely mistaken. Ashley's frustration reached a boiling point, leading to a fiery confrontation. She stormed out in a scene that could rival any reality TV meltdown. It was like watching all her struggles explode in one dramatic moment. Her journey, full of setbacks and tiny victories, is a stark reminder that weight loss isn't just about diet and exercise. It's about wrestling with your inner demons and finding the strength to keep pushing forward.
Smooth. You will get trampled. Midget ass bastard.
No, I would take a couple deep breaths.
No, I'm done. Like, at the end of the day, I've been coming there like, no, I'm up here wasting my money coming to this appointment.
Let's start with a visual. Imagine not being able to stand for more than a mere 45 seconds. Yep, that's Kine, needing a pit crew just to hit the bathroom. Her nieces, Elisa and Deja, are like the unsung heroes of shower time, and her nephew? He's the walking assistant all-star edition. It's like a bizarre relay race just for everyday survival. Ever heard of a more exhausting routine just for basic hygiene? I didn't think so.
I'm ready to get washed up. Alicia is 16. If I'm gonna take a good shower, Alicia helps. Or if Deja's here, she helps. It is 19. And she's in college, so she's in and out of the house here. Help with your mom? You can't be 600 pounds.
Now let's rewind a bit. At the tender age of 10, Kane was already a whopping 150 pounds. By 13, she was cruising past 230, 240 pounds. But here's the kicker. Despite the numbers climbing faster than a cat up a tree, she was living it up in high school. Dating, prom, the works. It's almost like her weight was just another minor inconvenience like a zit on prom night. Total denial mode, right? Just keeps on piling up those pounds without a second thought.
I got bigger, and by the time I was 14, I believe I was around 230 or 240 then. But I don't feel like I missed out on anything during that time because of my size. So I was happy in high school. I dated. I went to prom. So I didn't see a reason to change how I ate. So I kept eating more and gaining weight. And I graduated from high school at 17. I was well over 350 pounds.
Post-high school, Kene snagged a job and moved out. Independence. Woohoo! But her love affair with fast food and binge eating tagged along. Next thing you know, she's hitting the 400-pound mark. But why worry? She's mobile, so all's peachy in her world. Denial. Meet reality. Because things are about to get way more complicated.
For the worse. And it was at that time my weight had gotten up to around 400 pounds. But I didn't feel bad because I could still move around pretty good. I was still moving and working and, walking around and not hurting. Just didn't really bother me. So I kept on doing whatever I wanted with food and eating.
Kene had dreams. Big, fluffy, cotton candy dreams. She wanted to expand her family. But her weight? Major roadblock. It was wreaking havoc on her fertility and her health. Then life throws her a double whammy, losing her mom and a tornado leveling her house. Seriously, it's like Mother Nature and fate teamed up for a sucker punch. And of course, food becomes her solace, the ultimate comfort in a cruel world.
It's only gotten stronger, but there were some struggles. Infertility can put a strain on the relationship. I just always figured that once I found someone that I wanted to settle down with, I'd get pregnant, we'd have kids, we'd go on with life. But I wasn't getting pregnant. I was diagnosed with PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome, and it did attribute to weight gain, and that devastated me.
Fast forward to age 41. Kene decides it's time to flip the script and calls in the cavalry. Dr. Now hits her with a strict 200-calorie diet and a goal to drop 75 pounds in 2 months. Easy peasy, right? Wrong. Especially when Kine's the queen bee of the kitchen. Can she handle this plot twist?
Okay.
No one's gonna step on my toes.
Well, the dynamic seems to be that you get everyone to enable you, and you use them as a crutch, and it sounds like that is affecting their health too. So, would you agree with that?
I'll use them as a crutch because I do prepare food for my family and I do prepare large quantities of food for my family, but we could choose better options.
Okay.
I could choose better options because I'm the one that...
First checkup time. She's shed a mere 22 pounds, a far cry from that 75-pound goal. Doctor Now isn't having it. When he confronts her, she snaps back with, "You're not a magician and you're not a god. You're just a doctor." Yikes. Talk about biting the hand that feeds you. Offensive much?
Everybody can buckle down and follow the diet for a few months, and if you don't do that, the reality is you don't want help. What you want is somebody to do the work for you. So if you expect us to magically make you lose weight, it's not going to happen.
I never asked you for magic. You're not a magician and you are not God.
I'm the doctor who's telling you how to get healthy.
Despite the rocky start, Kene sticks to the 1-200-calorie plan. Dr. Now ropes in psychotherapist Dr. Paradise, who suggests she write a letter to her late mom. A heartwarming, tear-jerking step, right? Well, it's more about processing grief than winning a Pulitzer. Will this emotional detour be her breakthrough?
I was never able to get any closure from losing her because of my size. I couldn't go to her burial and say goodbye. And it's one of my biggest regrets that I let my weight get so out of hand that I couldn't do that. So I want to make that right. And I want to say all the things I never got to say to her.
By her third appointment, Kene clocks in at 543 pounds. Surgery dreams hit a speed bump due to high white blood cell counts, her body's way of saying, not so fast. And here we are, left hanging. Will Kinney's dreams of a fresh start ever materialize, or is she stuck in this tragic loop? If Kinney's journey doesn't make you want to scream at your TV, I don't know what will. Thanks for hanging out with us. If you laughed, cried, or these stories made you feel gross, subscribe and hit the bell so you're always in the loop. Share this with your friends. Because who doesn't love a good transformation story?
And I also want you to go to a hematologist to make sure that there is no other issues contributing to that elevated blood count.
Okay.
The other thing is that your record showed that you had some episode of flare-up of rapid heartbeat and atrial fibrillation, and that is something that we need to be concerned because with that issue, my surgery